Hello and welcome back to math. Today we are going to be working on pages 377 to 388. Let's start here. Read and solve. A class has 432 sheets of paper. They get 100 more for an art project. How many sheets of paper do they have now? They have 432 sheets of paper. They get 100 more. 432 and 100 more. How can we add these two numbers together to get our answer? 432 plus 100 equals what? How did you get your answer? You can draw a picture to show the number of sheets of paper. 432 is 432 more. 100, 200, 300, 400, 10, 20, 30, 2. Adding 100 makes 532 more. So it goes from 400s to 500s when you add another 100. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 32. Model it. You can also use facts that you know. 432 and 100 more is 432 plus 100. You know that 4 plus 1 equals 5. 4 plus 1 equals 5. So you know 400 plus 100 equals 500. Look at the model it on the previous page. How is adding hundreds like adding ones? How many sheets of paper does the class have now? Look at your answer for problem 1. How would adding and subtracting tens be like adding and subtracting ones? Look back. Which strategies do you like best for adding and subtracting tens and 100s? Explain. So out of the strategies that I showed you, which were like these, the 100 number blocks, or just basic adding. Which one of those did you like the best for adding and subtracting tens and 100s? Let's use what we learned to solve these problems. A store has 893 granola bars. It sells 100 bars. How many granola bars does the store have now? Show your work. 893 granola bars minus 100 granola bars that get sold. 893 minus 100. Remember, you can go back to the last lesson if you forgot how to draw the pictures to help yourself. Or you can try just subtracting 893 minus 100. What answer did you get? Adding and subtracting 10 or 100. 539 plus 10 equals what? 704 plus 100 equals what? $6.99 plus 10 equals what? 675 plus 100 equals what? 226 minus 100 equals what? 491 minus 10 equals what? So remember, we're adding and subtracting 10 or 100 from all of these. What is 288 minus 10? Is it 188, 278, 287, or 298? Which answers did you get? Next, I'll show you an example. The Park Service has planted 148 trees. They will plant 100 more trees by the end of the week. How many trees will they have planted in all? You can use base 10 blocks and then skip count by hundreds. 100 is more than 148, which is equal to 248. So 248 trees will be planted in all. You can also take 148 and add 100 to it in order to get 248. Base 10 blocks. Tim scores 318 points in a game. He plays another level and scores 10 more points. How many points does Tim have in all? Draw base 10 blocks for 318 in one color, and then use a different color to draw more base 10 blocks to show how many points Tim scores in all. So we have our 300 base 10 blocks. My drawing isn't very good, I'm sorry. And then we have our tens blocks. So here I have 18. So this is supposed to represent 318 in the yellow, which may look green in your video. So the yellow or green is 318. He scores 10 more points. I drew those in pink. So that's 10 more blocks. 318 plus 10. So, how many points did Tim score in all? What is 318 plus 10? Kevin has 452 stamps in his collection. Then he gives his sister 100 stamps. How many stamps does Kevin have now? Solve the problem, then explain which strategy you used to solve it. So Kevin has 452 stamps already. He gives 100 to his sister. So what we're doing is we're taking 100 away from 452. So what we need to do is we need to take 452 and subtract 100 from it. And that is how you can find out how many stamps he has after he gives his sister 100. What is 873 plus 100? Is it going to be 773 if we're adding 100 to 873? Is it going to be 874, 883, or is it going to be 973 if we're adding 100 to 873? Which one of these numbers is it going to equal? What is 547 minus 10? 547 minus 10. Is that going to equal 557, 537, 527, or 447? Could you try skip counting backwards by tens once to get the answer? What is 10 plus 865? Let's try skip counting forwards by tens one time to get our answer. 865 plus 10 equals, is it 765, 855, 875, or 965? Next, we have another example. Cecilia is skip counting by tens from 58. What are the next 6 numbers that she says? Circle 58. Then go down the row to skip count by 10. Continue down the row to skip count by 10 6 times. So she starts at 58. Let me focus. She starts at 58. 58, and when you skip count by 10s forwards, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 108, 118. Lily is skip counting by 5s from 100. What are the next 6 numbers that Lily will say? I wrote down the numbers that came before 100 for you. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Could you complete the line? Pablo has 342 space cards. Then he buys 100 more. How many space cards does Pablo have now? Show your work. Pablo has 342 cards, and then he goes and he buys 100 more. 342 plus 100. What is 342 plus 100? That will help you determine how many cards he has now. Don't forget to show your work. What is 426 minus 100? Michael chose B as his answer. How did Michael get his answer? Why do you think that it might be the wrong answer? Is 426 minus 100 equal to 416? You skip counting backwards on this number line. What number are you skip counting by? Write the missing numbers and explain how you got your answer. Here's the number line. 225, blank. 235, blank. 245, 250, blank. 260. So, how many more is 225 than 220? What number do you think is going to come in between 225 and 235? What number do you think will come between 235 and 245? What number do you think will come between 250 and 260? Greg uses this number chart to skip count by 10s from 314. Let's shade in the next 6 numbers. So he started at 314. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to go down and start on the first line, 7, 8, 9, 10. $314, $324. What do you think the next 5 numbers are going to be if we're skip counting by 10s from 324? What is 863 minus 10? Is it 763, 853, 873, or 963? Remember, we're subtracting 10 from 863. Which one of these is 10 less than 863? Sasha and her family drive 171 miles on the first day of their vacation. After the second day of their vacation, they have driven 271 miles. How many miles do Sasha and her family drive on the second day? So the first day they drive 171 miles. And the second day they have driven 271 miles. The 271 miles includes the 171 miles from the first day. Let's subtract. What is 271 minus 171? Once you complete that math equation, you will have your answer. Liam has 358 buttons. He uses some of them for an art project. Now Liam has 258 buttons left. How many buttons does Liam use for his art project? Pam chose A as the answer. How did she get her answer? Why is her answer wrong or right? Do you think that 358 minus 258 equals 10? Is that answer correct? Teresa has a box of raisins. She eats 10 of them. Now there are 190 raisins in the box. How many raisins were in the box at the start? 190 plus 10 equals what? Is it A, 90, B, 180, C, 200, or D, 290? What is 190 plus 10? Carlos counts aloud and says these numbers. What number is Carlos skip counting by? 284, 384, 484, 584, 684, 784, 884. Which number changes every single time? Is Carlos counting by 2s, 5s, 10s, or is Carlos counting by hundreds? Which sets of numbers shows skip counting by 5s? 590, 595, 600, 605, 610, 615. Or 845, 855, 865, 875, 885, 895. Is it C, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, 55? Is D one of the answers? 390, 395, 400, 405, 410, 415. Could E be an answer? 455, 555, 655, 755, 855, 955? Remember, don't let it trick you. Just because it has a 5 in it does not mean that it's skip counting by 5s. Make sure to add and see exactly how many numbers are between each one. Ellen counts 349 stickers. Joseph counts 100 more stickers than Ellen. How many stickers does Joseph count? Explain. So, what is 100 more than 349? 349 plus 100 equals what? Which one of these shows skip counting by 10s? 210, 310, 410, 510, 610, 710. 829, 839, 849, 859, 869, 879. 440, 445, 450, 455, 460, 465. Or D, 320, 430, 540, 650, 760, or 870. What is 998 minus 100? And today's math journal is explain how skip counting forward by tens and adding by tens are alike. I hope that I helped you get through this math. I know you can do it.